Hi, this is a military modeller Paul with a completed ME262, the Tamiya kit. A really lovely kit. I had a few problems with it, quite crazy myself, but I've sorted those out. The camouflage you can see on board it is all hand sprayed. I used MRP paints, and apart from the primer, which is Mr. Hobby's Mr. Surfacer 1200, I think it was. So there's a mixed 50-50 to give it a nice fine coat. But anyway, but other than that, everything on there is MRP paints, and really enjoyed the paints. And because you can spray straight from the bottle, I lowered the pressure right down, brought the airbrush down to very small, and I sprayed all the camo on the side of the airplane. You can see very lightly. All these lines were hand sprayed as well for the camouflage on the top, and it looks pretty close to a fine line anyway, so I'm really pleased with it. And it was my first real dabble at trying to do a fine stipple camouflage. And I took this particular version of the 262 from one of my I'll show you one of the books I got. This is volume 5, and if I just move the plane out of the way, I think you'll see what I mean. It was this one. And basically, if I'll just find the page, I'll show you what I mean. Excuse me, gotta find it. Hopefully I can find it very quickly. I should have had it ready. There it is. And I think you can see basically what I was going for. There you go. So it's very blotchy, and the patterns were blotchy, so I went for it. Plus, when you see the plane in for real life, there she is again. So it was very blotchy, so I'd made my decisions about the way I was going to do it, and I'm really chuffed with the way it came out. I've got the other volumes as well. There's quite a few volumes to that one. So that's basically it. So if I bring the plane back in again, try and get back into picture again. There she goes. Yeah, be okay. I put the wires in a little bit in the actual fighter machine gun, the cannon bay as well, as it were, and I painted them yellow. I put a few extra wires in that weren't in the photograph, but I just put them to make it look busy. This cover does go on, and I should have made the other cover. Next time I do one of these, I'll make a cover so you can actually put it up as if it's sitting up in the air. But it sits down quite nicely, so as you can see. So it was a good fit in the end, and it's still a bit up, but there you go. I used resin wheels, and I think I might have showed them inside the thing, but there you go. The nose cone was painted with MRP red as well. Managed to get the line. I get a bit of overspray when I went round, so what I did is I used rolled up a bit of paper into a cone, pushed it on there, and then oversprayed the green bits and blue bits again round the nose, and it brought it back to as I wanted it. It's lovely. And decals, I'll just show you underneath. I better take that bit off now, and I'll show you underneath what I did underneath, and hopefully I'm not going to muck about. There she is. Looks a lot darker than what it is actually. Really, it's a lot lighter than that. Tamiya kit really nice because it comes with a weighted nose as well. So there you go. If I just come round again, I want to put a support for the canopy that comes over to the back frame over here, and I will do that later on. But I've got to make a very fine bit of wire to loop it round, and then use the easy line to actually do the same thing, but as long as you've got a spring at this end, because it has got a little spring bit to actually go into this bit of the canopy. So I may do that later on as well to get that done, but if not, it'd be definitely done on the next build anyway. So if I just put that back on there, whoops, there you go, there you go. So here she goes again. So, and if the cockpit, I think I showed you anyway, but I'll zoom in a minute so you can see a bit more. But I can see it was all hand painted and sprayed very finely. I don't know whether the camera's actually picking up. It looks better in the flesh than what it does on the actual what's name. I didn't use any mask for underneath the wings, so when I sprayed underneath there, I didn't get any overspray. Using a very fine production of paint, and it worked really well. So I'm going to be using that method quite a bit in the future. And to inside here, I use the same as anyone else does. Sprayed them bits when I put them inside there, and then put paper cone in there, so it just actually allowed you to actually have it sprayed without getting anything inside the way the motors were. So there you go. So if I switch off quickly now, I'll be back in a sec. Here we are again. It's just a look down inside the cockpit, so you can actually see all the dials and bits and pieces are all in there. Not so clever that way. See all the straps. It really looks busy inside the cockpit, so that's a really nice part about it. So I'm just going to switch off now and come back out. Here we are. I'm just going to do another bit of lower pass. The decals were Tamiya's ones, and to be honest, they're a bit thick. So my next one, I'll be using some different decals, which I got for 262 jets, which will actually be thinner and go down better. But it took a bit of time. I had to use the roller to get the decals down as well. So there we go. Right, let's put that back here. Right, I'm going to switch off, come back up. Well, there she is, and really pleased with it. The next one's going to be slightly smaller, being a high ankle. I think it's a 162 actually. I can actually show the box, so you can see what I mean. So if I move that out of the way again, sorry about that, and bring this into the focus, and basically put it up like that. And that's the one I'll be building next. I will do an open box review. Everything's in there. It's not been opened, but I will do a pre-build video for it. But that's the one I'm going to be doing. So basically, it's another German one, but interesting one altogether. The one I'll be building would be this one. It's JG1. They actually converted away from Focke-Wulf 190s to the late version to this plane just before the war ended. So there we go. I'll bring this back in, put it back down, zoom in a fraction. There you go, and there she is. So really pleased with her. She's come out quite nice, and I was really pleased with my painting. I hadn't done fine spray work like that for a long time, and it worked really well. And the MRP paints come out really well, and they're actually more or less the right shades you need to do the kit. So thank you very much for watching this one, and I'll catch you on the next one. I will be putting up a video shortly of mine and Greg's next buddy build, and it's armour. So there you go. Oh, that's better. That's armour kit, so that's okay. So anyway, catch you on the next one, and that's it. And thank you very much for watching, and catch you on the next one. I think I've said it so many times. Never mind. Happy modelling. Bye.